So I just left this meeting, and it was concerning my business, some things I want to do in this company that I want to use to help me do some things for my business. And I met with this amazing young man. Now this young man was 30. I'm 42. We were talking, we were having a good time, and then I mentioned that I published a book, Beautiful Rejection. And so he was like, what is your book about? And so I started to give him a brief overview about the book, and then he stopped me. And then he started testifying, telling me his story and how he went through something similar. And I was just in awe, because here I am. We couldn't be any more different. I'm a 42-year-old mom, black lady. Here's this handsome 30-year-old white guy who has similar stories, who experienced similar things at different points of their life. And we talked, and then we started talking about God, and he started talking about his relationship with God and how he's cultivating his relationship with God and how he can feel the presence of God. And it just turned into almost a testimony session. And it made me realize that we are more alike than we are different, in that our testimonies are valuable. My book is valuable. I haven't done much with it, but I'm going to. Beautiful Rejection, it is valuable. Sometimes we think that we're the only ones, or we think that people can't relate. Here, my book crossed race, it crossed gender, it crossed the age gap. I wasn't expecting to talk about the book. I wasn't expecting, let alone talk about the book, but to have a similar experience and feeling the exact same way. And as I was talking about the book and testifying about how I felt and what I felt like God was revealing to me about myself, this young man had some of the same revelations that I did. And then we started talking about his purpose, and not knowing your purpose and doing what God has called you to do. And then it just evolved into this beautiful, beautiful thing. But I can't tell you how many times I've discounted my testimony, not intentionally. Don't sit on your testimony. Don't sit on that thing God has brought you through, because you never know who can benefit from it, or who's gone through similar experiences. It may not be a book for you. It may be a book for you. It may be a movie. It may be a screenplay. Whatever that thing is that God has told you to do it, and don't discredit it. Don't discount it. And I don't know if discredit would be the proper term, but so busy trying to, take care of the kids and school and in business, I kind of like set it to the side. But I got to bring this to the forefront, because so many people deal with rejection. It may not be in the same form that I've experienced, but one thing that we're all going to go through at some point in life is rejection. Whether it be you didn't make the little league baseball team, whether your spouse walked out, whether you got overlooked for a promotion that you were supposed to get, we all go through rejection. Rejection tells us all some of the same lies. We all feel some type of way because of rejection. And as I was driving, I was like, man, that just meant, first of all, I love people. I'm gonna say all the time, I love people, and it made me so happy. But to be able to talk to someone, two different background, two different culture, two different everything, but connect on one thing, and that connector was my testimony that God allowed me to have. So don't discount it, don't disgrace, don't set your book on the shelf or your testimony on the shelf. Do what God has called you to do, and be happy doing it. You never know. Your testimony may seem small. It may seem minuscule, but you never know who may need it or who can relate. I was able to encourage this young man because I am 12 years older than him, but I was also encouraged to hear him speak at the age of 30 and what he wanted. And he doesn't have a wife, and he doesn't have children, and a lot of his friends do, and he felt some type of way about that. And I just encouraged him, like, you're right where you're supposed to be. You're at a sweet spot at 30 to be cultivating this beautiful relationship with God, to have made it through that season of rejection. And it just encouraged me so much. I just want to go and travel all the world talking about my book. But don't sleep on your testimony. Don't withhold your testimony. We were there talking about payroll and setting up some systems and me doing all this stuff. I wasn't thinking about the book. I'm not gonna say I was not thinking about God. I'm always thinking about God, but that wasn't the topic of discussion. But it became the topic of discussion because God does what he wants to do. Now, I'd have handed this young man, he wanted a copy of the book. He really wanted to read it. He was interested. I hope that the book blesses him, and I hope that it could be a blessing to others. We exchanged business cards. Business is going to come from both ends after the meeting. But don't be afraid of your testimony. Don't be afraid to share your testimony. Don't be ashamed of your testimony. I can honestly say the content in this book, I was embarrassed about for a little bit. But I'm not ashamed to talk about the season that I had to go through because, one, God gets the glory. Two, I am much better. I love who I've become. Now, it didn't feel good going through the process, but I love who I've become because of the process. And because of that, I'm willing to share. Because rejection can make you or break you. Anything you go through, it can either make you or break you. It's a choice. You gonna let it make you? You gonna let it break you? I let it make me. I let God use that rejection to build me up, to put me in a position to be able to talk to this young man who had a similar story. I blessed him and he blessed me. So please share your story. Don't sit on it. I'm rebuking myself because I've been sitting, and I feel like the encounter I had with that young man today was realization, like, no, this is needed. It's not a thick book, but it gets straight to the point, and it's just a sliver. It doesn't even get into the nitty gritty. It doesn't get into the detail. It's just a surface level, but it's enough. It's enough. And I'm so glad that I had a few copies in my car, and I'm so grateful that we got on the topic of purpose. And what our purpose is. And I was telling them I'm a writer and I publish books, and I feel like, my purpose is to encourage and to motivate and to write. And that got on the topic of the book, and that got on the topic of a long relationship he was in when he went through the same rejection that I did, and just a beautiful conversation came out of it. So yes, it was about the business. Yes, it was about payroll and setting off a whole bunch of stuff up, but it was so much deeper than that. And that's the beautiful thing about God. He'll take something common. He'll take a common thing like, let's talk about payroll. I'm transferring from my CPA, and I'm gonna learn how to start doing stuff myself so I can know the ins and outs of the business that I built from the ground up. So he'll take a meeting like that and he will insert himself, okay? And it's just a beautiful thing when you can meet people who are on their journey. Sometimes you're at the same place. Sometimes you're here and they're there. But you connect. You connect and you learn. And like I said, his testimony up until his 30 years has blessed me, and it just made me so happy that he was a 30-year-old man and he was single and he has a desire to be married and to have a wife, but he's seeking God, and how he wakes up every day and he says his scripture. All just made me happy because I have sons. My oldest will be 17 in April. I have sons. I know his mother has to be proud. That made me so happy. By the time I was 30, I had 2 kids out of wedlock because I had just started having a relationship with God a few years prior. I'm not sitting here bitter. I'm like, oh, well, when I was 30, I was struggling just to make ends meet, and I had 2 kids. And no, I was so happy to see where he is and to see where he wants to go and where he's come from. And so don't sleep on your testimony. Don't be afraid to share your testimony. Sometimes people are like, oh, what's the book about? I'm like, but I tell them. And you'll be surprised because everybody can relate to rejection. Everybody. So I'm motivated. I'm pumped. And I'm like, okay, God, man, let's get some more books. Let's hit the street. Who else can I talk to today about my book? I'm grateful for my cleaning business. I'm grateful. But what really brings me joy was being able to have that conversation. And he was a talker too. So we had to shut up at some point. But it made me so happy. And it not confirmed, because I feel like I know what my purpose is. But it gave me that boost, that push. Sometimes we can get so caught up in the mundane, and I got to go to work and take care of the kids, and you get into this routine that half the days I don't even remember that I wrote a book. And I can't do that, because this book is going to be the thing. The business is cool, I make decent money. I provide for my family with the business, but this right here, this is what's going to change lives. This is what's going to encourage. This is for the other Tamikas out there who feel like they can't make it. They're happy that I'm on the tail end of this thing, but they need to know, what did you do in the midst of it? And that's what this is. And so I am encouraged, and I encourage you to pursue whatever that thing is, whatever that thing God is calling you to do is, even though you have a job. My business is basically my job, but I can't set this down because I need to make money. Because I feel like this is going to open doors probably for me to make more money than I ever could in my business. So don't discredit your testimony. Don't discount it. Don't set it on a shelf. Open your mouth and speak it. You ain't got to be a talker like me or post everything on Facebook or whatever like I do. But when the opportunity presents itself, don't be afraid to say what God has done for you or what God is going to do for you, because you never know who's listening. You never know who you may be connected with, and you never know what may come from it. That's all I wanted to say. And I just wanted to say, look, I am doing so good. I challenged myself. I said, look, I'm going to do 1 video a week. This is week 3. And it ain't no super long video, but I had something to say. Instead of posting it, instead of writing it, I decided to share it verbally. So I talked about last week, giving yourself grace and celebrate the small victory. So I am going to buy myself a snack today to celebrate my small victory of making my video. So please be encouraged to share your testimony, not sit on it, and pursue and to activate that thing God has called you to do. And y'all hold me accountable. Hold me accountable at marketing my book, at talking about my book, at looking at some speaking engagements, because there's very valuable information. And I feel like it can be a great tool, resource, maybe even healing for some people. It's going to make some people mad because it's going to make you look at yourself like God made me look at me. And sometimes we don't like what we see. He pulled a mirror right out in front of me and said, hey, you the same way. You ain't no better. So be encouraged. Don't sit on your testimony. Don't sit on your gift. And have a fabulous rest of your Tuesday. Peace.